All Things Motoring International is owned and brought to you by SA's most trusted online vehicle platform, ChangeCars. Our name says it all, whether you're looking to sell, need advice, need finance, or need insurance. ChangeCars has you covered. In this week's episode of All Things Motoring, Mike is back at Camp Fest, and Ernest attends the George Old Car Show. This is a show filled with goldies and oldies.
Hello and welcome to the George Old Car Show. And where last year's theme was Mercedes-Benz, this year's theme is Rolls-Royce. But that doesn't mean that you can't see everything from A to Z at the George Old Car Show. So considering this episode is all things Rolls-Royce here at the George Old Car Show, let's go check out some Rolls. I'm standing with Valdo from the Southern Cape Old Car Club. And Valdo, you're the chairman of the club. It's a Rolls-Royce day today, but you're a Mercedes man. What's going on?
Yeah, we can't always get what we want.
Last year you had it all your way.
Yes. Yeah, so we thought there's such a big British fraternity and so on, so we thought that maybe we must highlight it.
So this isn't just all things Rolls-Royce today, it's all things Rolls-Royce and all things Bentley.
Yes.
And from these cars over here, are you a fan of Rolls-Royce personally as well?
Yes, I love the old Rolls-Royces, you know. They just, I like the old ones are massive, you know. They are big things. If you look at the Bentleys as well, they are trucks on wheels and so on.
So when it comes to the show itself, we chatted briefly off air. This is not a small show.
No, definitely not. Yeah, I think we've got today about 1,200 cars, just over 1,200 cars here. We've got almost 35 Rollses and Bentleys here on display today. And I think we're going to get 11,000, 12,000 people for the day visiting us. It's a camaraderie that's here, you know, people relax. They've been coming here 28 years, they meet old friends again, you know, so it's that whole thing, you know, I've seen you here last year, I'll see you again. You know, I had people coming to me and say, oh, their father had something, they've got something for me, you know, and things like that. So it's that type of camaraderie.
So it really does roll on, the conversation continues next year and the year after that. And the year after that.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm going to go chat to some Rolls-Royce people over here and do my all things Rolls-Royce. Thanks so much for chatting to us. Thanks for arranging this and for all the effort that you put in behind the scenes. I know that this wasn't a 1-2 day job.
At least we've been doing it quite a few times, so it's not that, you know, just make sure everything is in place.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all your effort, Walter. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm standing here with Peter Venter, and Peter, you're the man to speak to when it comes to all things Rolls-Royce, and that's why we're here. But one of the fascinating conversations that we just had now is the fact that the modern Rolls connects to the older ones. I always thought there'd be some sort of separation, but you're saying the essence is still there.
The essence is there, the thin steering wheel, the light steering, the unbelievable torque on the acceleration, even the power reserve detail. It doesn't have a rev counter. When you're cruising at 120, 140, you've got 90% of the power left.
Yeah.
It just uses like 10%. And when it cruises, it's like 11 liters on 100 with a big V12.
Wow. Happiness is knowing that you can. You don't necessarily have to.
No, but you can. When you go it, it's quick. They're very nippy cars.
Space on the interior. That's what. It's a big car with 2 doors.
It's a 2-door with the suicide doors. The drop-head coupe is 2008. It's a special with the aluminium, and the frame is quite incredible to see the detail. But it's got enough space in the back for a tall guy of 6'7" to sit in the back. It's a proper full-sized 4-seater, but with a beautiful soft top open, with a beautiful wood decking at the back. The detail that it's gone to is proper Rolls-Royce, even though it's BMW owned now.
But that's the thing, that's the question. People read about something like this in a magazine and say, no, it's not a real Rolls-Royce.
No. I mean, I'm not a BMW guy. I'm a Mercedes and Porsche guy.
Yeah.
But I respect BMW for what they've done here. The design was right, the detail, the power. It's a BMW powered car, 7 litres almost, V12. This one's got less power than the newer one. That car is very quick. I have no idea how they changed the power output, but it's dramatically like 50% more. But they all have the torque. The characteristic of a Rolls is to have ample power, sufficient power at all times. It accelerates fast, even though it's a heavy car, and easy to drive.
So I'm going to put you in a difficult position here.
Okay.
Which day of the week are you choosing which one?
These are my friend's cars, so they're not my cars. He loves that, the Op 61 Bentley is one of his favorite daily drivers. It's got fantastic aircon, electric soft top, it's got Bluetooth sound. So you can listen to music. The soft top is electric and it's quick. It's very quick. His dad loves this car, which I also love a lot. I mean, it's a really nice car. I like the big Phantom, but that big Phantom is very hard to park anywhere. It's an extra length, it's a long wheelbase, so it won't fit in any garages, it won't fit in a parking bay, can't get into a parking garage. It turns very easy, it's got 4-wheel steering. Yeah. So it's very maneuverable.
And it's nimble,
but it was wonderful from Stellenbosch to come here on the highway with it. It was fantastic.
Wow. So there you go, folks. You don't always have to choose, and who'd have thought BMW kept the essence alive.
Perfectly.
For those with a keen eye, you might recognize this car behind me from another episode in the show. It belongs to a gentleman named Bob. And Bob gave me some interesting tidbits about Rolls-Royce's contribution to the motor industry. Now, to hear more about that in detail, let's throw to the voice in the sky and find out what Rolls has brought to the party.
Rolls-Royce has been a symbol of luxury, precision engineering, and innovation in the motor industry since its founding in 1904 by Charles Rolls and Henry Royce. The company set early benchmarks for reliability and quality with the Silver Ghost in 1907, earning a reputation for building the best car in the world. Throughout the 20th century, Rolls-Royce continued to innovate with the models like the Phantom series, combining cutting-edge technology with handcrafted luxury. The brand pioneered advanced engineering techniques, including powerful and smooth-running engines, influencing both the luxury car market and the broader automotive industry. Now under BMW ownership, Rolls-Royce remains at the forefront of high-end automotive excellence, with modern masterpieces like the Phantom, Ghost, and the all-electric Spectra. Coming up after the break, Mike rounds off his trip at this year's memorable Camp Fest.
My God, I get it now.
You get what?
You know when things heat up, they expand?
And?
I'm not fat, I'm hot.
Are you looking to sell? Visit Change Cars and click on the Selling tab.
When in Rome, they say, do as the Romans do. And well, this ain't Rome, this ain't the gladiators, but it is All Things Motoring and the weekend of Campfest in the beautiful town of Bella Bella. I've arrived in the most beautiful 2002 one-owner, original, unmolested Volkswagen 2.3i Caravelle. Resplendent in white, with aircon, power steering, central locking, and an incredible Audi 2.3i 5-cylinder fuel-injected engine. If that sounds like a mouthful, that's not even the start of what this incredible vehicle is about. 8-seater with space for 8 adults luggage. And that for me is the absolute key. What stands out is the incredible fuel consumption. We left Johannesburg with a full tank of fuel, and 180 kilometers later, the needle had not moved. It's actually almost surreal how good the weather is in this country. Another great day ahead, and we look forward to bringing you the best of what Campfest is about. And trust me, Campfest is about the best. A blast from the past or frozen in time, you choose. Behind me, I don't know the exact year, but I'm assuming 85, 86 or 87 Golf CSX. But not just any Golf CSX, the most original, immaculately maintained gold Golf CSX you'll ever find. And if you've got one in better condition, I beg you, I implore you, call me. Let me tell you about the Golf CSX. What an incredible, superb car. We all know the GTS, the 1800 normally aspirated. Then one level below, you got the CSX. 1600 4-cylinder, came standard with no aircon. Aircon was an option. This gentleman, this lady behind me, they took aircon. What an incredible vehicle. A car like this today, do you know what it's worth? Whatever you want, because somebody will pay it. Nothing excites me more than finding an original car. Then you see a car that tells you it's original by the number plate. On your screen right now, you see OG Mark II. I'm talking to the proud owner, Naresh. This truly is an incredibly original Mark II 8-valve, not a 16-valve.
Not a 16-valve, it's an 8-valve.
And many people say that the 8-valve was a nicer car than the 16-valve. Yes, the 16-valve was almost the halo car at the time, but in terms of driving, tell us about this car to drive.
So it's a very fun car. It's a daily car. There's no issues with it. It's got aircon. Unfortunately, no power steering, so you got to turn it a bit. But in terms of daily driver, she's perfect.
But what is interesting, at the time, power steering and aircon were options on these cars. Some came with, some came without. Many people again say that without the power steering, it gave it a beautiful on-road feel, felt very sure-footed.
Especially when you're coming around the corners, you feel like you're driving a car. You're not relying on a power steering to go around the corner. You tug the steering, it hugs the corner. It's the best.
At the time, VW had an ad out called The Right Stuff. You tell me if the cars they used had power steering or didn't. I bet you they didn't. A vehicle like this today, to try and find them, obviously very scarce. You've had it a couple of years, what, 5, 6, 7 years?
Yeah. So I've got it, it's going on 8 years now. Found the car in Cape Town. Did a lot of maintenance, did a lot of work. Imported a lot of things to the car from the UK. Badges were changed, headlights were changed, wheels, suspension, exhaust system. You know, a lot of time and effort has gone into it. Still got the original interior, original motor. If you guys go and look at the mileage, she's doing 454,000 Ks now.
454,000 Ks. It looks like this?
And there's nothing. You turn the key, she starts. It's got the original alarm system in the car, and it's my baby.
Guys, I need backup on this. Naresh has done his best to convince me to buy it. Naresh, I'm going to do you the favor. I'm going to buy it when you're ready.
When I'm ready, not in the near future, but one day maybe.
Thank you for chatting to us.
So
I'm
much.
sure everyone watching will agree. You see this on the road, you're going to stay. We've all heard the saying, moving the goalpost. Today, I'm going to explain it. Every time I go to a car show, I've said it before, I see cars I've never seen before, and I see something so special that I say, this is the best ever. Today, I saw a 1985 Golf CSX that I believe could lay claim to the cleanest car I've ever seen. However, it's got competition, and not just competition, it's got a rival that is going for victory. Behind me, a 1983 Pashut GLX-5. What does the 5 stand for? Some people say 5-cylinder, some people say 5-speed gearbox. It's got both, so stands for both of them. A little bit about this car. 61,000 kilometers. That is roughly 1,200 kilometers a year. I believe the owners he or she must have been the fittest people on planet Earth because they didn't drive a lot, they used to walk a lot. Often we talk about the rear seats and you say it looks like they haven't been sat on. This car, the rear seat, the passenger seat, that dashboard hasn't seen sun, but on your screen right now, check out this boot. This boot was no donkey. If you're looking for the perfect fit, beautiful car, beautiful lady, color red, halo car, Christina, you're the proud owner of this 1983 Golf 1 GTI. Before I even ask you a question, I just want to tell you I'm jealous, but so are all of you. How long have you owned it? And tell us the story.
Okay, the story behind this is, it was owned by my husband previously. So I took ownership last year. So I'm 1 year now, 1 year.
Ah, wait.
Definitely.
Happy wife, happy life. Suze Bob, that is coining the phrase.
So the reason I took over the car was, it's actually very sentimental to me because 30 years ago, my husband and I met when he had this car.
Beautiful.
And 30 years later, my kids are enjoying it with us as well. And last year, he had so many offers on this car. And you know, men, they want to like sell. I'm like, no, we're not selling this car. This is my baby now. I'm taking ownership of it. And this is my fourth baby, actually. The oldest of my 4 kids.
Amazing. But what is so special, a car like this, as much as you want to keep the mileage low, you also want to be able to drive it. It's got one incredible feature that makes it drivable. What is that?
The aircon, obviously, every woman wants an aircon in the car. This has it.
Now, can you imagine you driving a 42-year-old car and you don't have aircon? It is absolutely boiling in there. I sat in the car myself. I imagine it was done air at the time. They did a great job. Now, a car like this, what are the chances of you ever selling it?
No. Like I said, it's sentimental. It's going to be handed over to my kids. So hopefully next year, one of my kids can be on stage and share this with us.
It's been amazing speaking to you. I love your bubbly personality.
Oh, thank you.
Having a car like this, I can see why. And wishing you and the family the very best.
Thank you so much.
And just like that, Campfest comes to an end, showcasing all that we stand for. Warm Bars, you showcase our beautiful country. VW, you showcase our beautiful cars. And then the cherry on top, the people, our people. Who is not proud to be a South African? And today, more so than ever. My day started perfectly. Drickus du Plessis, you showed Sean Strickland that it's not all right to call you a Dutchman. And if he does want to call you a Dutchman, as he puts it, you showed him what a real peak club is about. Well done to you, proud. Campfest showcases why everybody loves VW. It's not hard to see. The amount of VWs you see on the road tells you that it's a love story that's going to go on and on. VW, you and me, we all stand for quality. That video will continue to resonate with me. This weekend's show will resonate with me forever. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next week.
Coming up after the break, Ernest finishes off his time at the George Old Car Show. Did you know? The Volkswagen Golf GTI has been a beloved hot hatch in South Africa since its introduction in the late 1970s. The Mark I GTI, launched locally in 1982, quickly gained a cult following for its blend of performance, practicality, and affordability. Due to its immense popularity, Volkswagen South Africa even developed the City Golf, a locally produced version of the Mark I that remained in production until 2009. Over the years, successive GTI models have remained bestsellers, with South Africa being one of the strongest markets for the GTI brand. The Golf 8 GTI, launched in 2021, continues the legacy, cementing its place as the country's favorite hot hatch with a loyal fan base and a strong presence in both the streets and motorsport scene. Looking for finance and insurance? Visit Change Cars and click on the Financial Products tab.
Last year, my favorite car at the show was the 300 SL because the theme was Mercedes-Benz. This year, even though the theme is Rolls-Royce, there are still plenty Mercs in the paddock over here. Just have a look. I'm standing with an old friend of the brand, Peter, the sportsman over here. Sir, you are hanging out with a Porsche t-shirt, but you're helping out the Rolls-Royce guys.
Yeah, it's a friend of mine's Rolls-Royce. Seems like he's got a battery problem. It's actually a Bentley.
Yeah.
We're just trying to jump a lead at there, jump started, but they've got a, looks like they've got a battery pack there they can help. It's turning, but it just doesn't want to fire.
And the show, I saw your car parked over there. When I saw your car, I knew it was you.
Yeah.
You can see the car on screen now. And how do you find the George Old Car Show?
This is my first time at the George Motor Show. It is amazing. I drove in from Hermanus yesterday. It's just absolutely, I can't believe the cars. There's like 10,000 cars here.
I know, it's a lot. It's the big show. It's the third time we've been here, and we love it, and we're blown away every single time. But it's always nice to bump into a familiar face.
Thank you very much. And the weather's nice, not too hot.
We'll see you on the next one.
See you. Cheers.
Nikki, you were trying to avoid us earlier on, but we managed to get hold of you.
I don't do cameras.
Neither do I, but I'm learning. But here we are, and what a fantastic collection. You've got this one over here.
Yes, we're going like with the old cars, like these are the Rolls-Royces that we've got here. This is the open tourer. And the other one that we have that side is a laundrette.
Oh, wow.
Yes, more precisely.
Yeah. So what do you do exactly for the collection?
I'm sort of like a mechanical assistant. That's what I am. But I love more doing the restoring part.
So what does the restoring part entail exactly?
Restoring means like when it's stripped, painted by someone, because we don't do painting that side, then I can build it back up. That's what I do.
Isn't it scary to work on something so precious?
Scary and a privilege also. Yeah. You have to be mindful of what you're doing, because that part, if you break it, it's not easy to find it.
Gee whiz. If you break it, you bought it, eh?
Yeah. So you have to have that in mind every time when you're working.
I like the word you use there, privilege. Tell us about that. Like, how does your day-to-day feel when you're doing this job, if it feels like a privilege?
When you wake up in the morning, you're building a dream, restoring a history. That's what you're doing. Yeah, so it's a privilege to do that, because someone else is going to see this. I've seen it, someone kept it for us to see it, and then there's going to be someone else seeing it again in the near future. So we like keeping the history going. That's what we do.
Wow. Nikki, helping to keep the history alive. Thanks so much for your time, and thanks for the time you put into these cars, Nikki. We look forward to seeing what else the collection provides.
Okay, thank you so much.
Those two words together I just heard uttered by a gentleman cruising past, Rolls and Royce. They really are quite special, and those that know, and those that don't are here to learn. And thanks to the George Old Car Show for showcasing it. See you guys next week.
Here is the screen top tip of the week. DIY battery terminals. Clean corroded battery terminals with a mix of baking soda and water. It will fizz away the grime. Before you buy a second-hand car, screen it. It's what smart people do. Coming up next week on All Things Motoring, Mike and Ernest bring you all things water sport as the team enjoys some fun challenges in the sun. And Ernest is back with a retro review. This is a show with a nautical twist.
When you think of the new Hyundai H1s, when you think of the...
Last year's theme was Mercedes-Benz. Sorry?
What was it about? Date? Campfest. What is it about? It's about showcase.
Did you want me to count you down or just go? You see that hut down there? You want a closer look? Cool. And we've got one more smiley face to look at here. Hey, now you see me? No, you don't. 3, 2, 1. Are we going on one or after one? Oh, can you do me a favour, please? Can you just check her strap? Can you just check? Do you want to know a fun fact about gravity? What sound does the letter A make?
Do you need any motoring advice? From where or what to buy? And where to sell? Visit the All Things Motoring International website and click the Advice tab to ask Mikey. All Things Motoring International was brought to you by SA's most trusted online vehicle platform, ChangeCars. Our name says it all. There is no safer online vehicle platform. That's not an opinion, that's a fact.